I have another guy, he wants to convert. So I told him, you have to convert, you have to be in a Jewish community. I said, you live next to a Jewish community? He says, the nearest to me, Jewish people next to me, is a few hundred miles away. So I have to travel somewhere. I can't. I have to move somewhere else. So, Rabotai, listen to the story. I'm telling you, for the last week, I'm repeating this story in my head 1,000 times. I can't believe this happened. And this guy travels over 3,000 miles. 3,000 miles, moves his whole family. Wife, 6 kids. Not so easy. 3,000 miles to go to a Jewish community. That alone, already half the group is gone. Half the bus already, okay, I'm going to stay non-Jewish, leave me alone. Say, send an email, I can do that. I can send an email. Text message for sure. Watch a YouTube video, definitely. 3,000 miles with 6 kids and a wife. Traveling 3,000 to move to a Jewish community. Now, if that's not enough, gets to the first house, say no, it's not available. You just travel 3,000 miles, you prepared ahead, they get to the house, no, it's not available anymore. Where are you going to live? Okay, get to the next house. A few days later, okay, yeah, you have to move. Why? Oh, we're selling the house. Yeah, but I'm renting. We did a deal. Sorry, sir, you have to leave. You're moving out again. Third house. Going to the house, everything's broken. Sir, the government says that we have to shut down this location. In a month and a half, 2 months, maybe 4 or 5 houses. Now you're thinking this is all bad, right? You're thinking this is all bad. I got you. You're thinking this is all bad. Wait till you see the end. Finally he gets to the last house. Last house, decent house, okay house. Not the house that he wants to stay in, not the house that he plans to stay in, but it's livable. Until they found a house that's long and lasting. But as you would have it, since they haven't worked in so long, money is gone. That's what happens in life. When you're not a kid and you don't work, there's no money. That's how life actually happens, by the way. So now, money ran out. Traveled 3,000 miles, moved to 5 different houses, all that stuff. Money is going out. And he tells this friend of his, who's the landlord, he says, listen, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm going to be able to stay here any longer because I can't afford the place. I can't afford the place. Now with his friend, his landlord, he became friends just in the last 2 weeks. He's Jewish. And his friend tells him, listen, don't worry about it. Just stay here. When's that shiur Torah that you told me about that we went to last week? He says, oh, it's Sunday, 9 o'clock. He said, let's go to that shiur. Just stay in the house. Don't worry about the house, though. Let's just go to that shiur. So now he brings a Jew to a shiur Torah. They're sitting in a shiur Torah. And some rabbi from New York that lives in Florida now happens to look like me. Talks about a few things. One of the things he talks about is intermarriage. And guess what? It's the first time in the Jew's life he's ever heard that intermarriage is not allowed. It's the first time in a Jew's life that he ever realized what kind of mess he's in. Now just think about it this way. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took a non-Jew that wants to be a Jew and his family and 6 kids over 3,000 miles from one coast to the next, torture them for a month and a half, 2 months, house to house to house to house, as if they're going bar hopping. House to house to house. Why? So they could finally end up in one house that has a Jew in it. So they could tell the Jew, maybe you want to come to the shiur Torah. And the Jew says, you know what, maybe I should. And he goes to the shiur Torah and he finds out, Ishtabach Shemo La'ad, it's not too late, I can still do tshuva. But I have to change now. That may seem like punishment at first, traveling all these miles away. The reality is, Rabotai, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu cares enough about each and every one of us that He literally goes through so much trouble, if you will, just to make sure that every single one of you has an opportunity to do tshuva. Every single one of you has an opportunity to get the truth. at least once in your life. So you don't go up to Shamayim, you don't go up to heaven and say, I never heard that before. I never knew this. No one goes up to heaven saying, I never knew this. No one goes up to heaven saying, I never heard this. You know what you say in heaven? When you get up to the Beit Din of Shamayim? Yeah, I heard this, but I didn't do it. I chose otherwise. You know what they say to you over there? We know. But there's no more tshuva up there. And that's what a Jew needs to think about. That's what even a non-Jew needs to think about. What happens after? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu will decide the result of all of our actions already from the start. How are you going to get to that point? How are you going to receive that truth? How are you going to receive that reward or punishment? HaKadosh Baruch Hu will decide based on different moves that you make in your life. Perhaps this Jew gave tzedakah to somebody and earned himself a merit that he'll hear the truth one more time. So Hashem says, okay, I need to get the truth to this guy in Florida. Now, he's surrounded by a bunch of liars that have a beard. He's surrounded by a bunch of thieves that steal neshamot. How am I going to get this guy the truth? Okay, you know what? I'm going to take this other Jew from New York, I'm going to bring him to Florida for him. Then I'm going to take this other non-Jew from Oregon, I'm going to also bring him and his family over here to Florida. And then I'm going to connect them, and then somehow they're both going to talk to this guy at the same time, and he's going to find out, ooh, what? This is the truth. Now, is this mercy or is this punishment? If you didn't know, you would think it's punishment. Punishment for the person that drove 3,000 miles, punishment for the person that moved from New York to here, punishment for the person that was living a fake life finding the truth, punishment for everybody, because it all seems upside down. It all seems like a big problem, a big headache. But when a person considers what happens after this life and who's the one that's running the world, you see how all of these difficulties, all of these tribulations are literally the ultimate version of mercy that Hashem has.
Chazakim u'bruchim. Let's say thank you Hashem for more Torah. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hashem. 1, 2, 3.